Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is smiling. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your...
Hello and good morning. Good morning. Happy hump day. It's July 23rd, Wednesday, and I hope y'all are having a good morning so far. Hello, Janice. Hello, beautiful. Hello, not crazy by crazy lady. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. Get your coffee. Come on in. I got a story that is just breaking, that is not, well, it's been out about 24 hours or so, and we're going to get into that today. I know there's a lot going on with the plea deal with Kohlberger and all that. We'll get into that later. But right now, come in and hit the thumbs up, and let's talk about what's going on over in Alabama, because it is some horrific stuff. If you're coming in, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and let's get this story out. It's free, and I do appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. This is a horrific case, and this live is not easy, but it is one that's necessary. So there may be some trigger points here. There ain't no may about it. There will be some trigger points here. And so please don't have no little ones in the room. They don't need to hear this, honestly. And if you feel you need to step away, please go ahead and do that. Hey, Jude, good morning. Good morning, beautiful. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to watch some news, some videos and stuff about it. But this is going on this morning or in the last 24, 48 hours over in Alabama. See, I haven't touched my phone at all. I'm going to start turning this off. 48 hours over in Alabama. My God, what is going on here? Hold on. I'm not even on my station. What in the world? I thought I wasn't. I'm sorry, y'all. This does this every time. I'm fixing to turn this. Hold on. Yeah, it was. Hold on. Okay. I don't think I am now. Hey, Jude. Thank you so much. Jude gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Hey, Jude. So if you got that membership, please thank Hey Jude. Hey Jude is our mod. All of our mods are in blue, and they'll be glad to help you. Exactly. Where Summer, this is your neck of the woods. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I knew you would probably want to hear this morning. But what I'm about to tell y'all might want to lean in and, get everything in, because this is some crap right here. Because it's something like out of a horror movie, honestly. And it's not. It's tragically, it's real. It's real. There was an underground bunker in Bibb County, Alabama, and six children were in that bunker, and it's sickening. It was a ring of abuse, trafficking, torment. This is the bunker of hell case. That's what we're calling it, the bunker of hell. And this morning, we're going to put a light on it, where the darkness is. They thought they could hide this darkness. They thought they could hide these kids. Investigators recently uncovered an underground storm shelter that was being used as a child sex trafficking hub. 3 men, William McElry, Dalton Terrell, and Andreas Venezuela, however you say his freaking name, was arrested on July 11th. The charges are RAPE, sodomy, kidnapping, trafficking, bestiality, and there's more. Hey, Lady Q. Good to see you. The victims, these poor kids, the victims was age 3 years old. 3 to 10. These babies, y'all. They were drugged, tied up, and assaulted. Just this week, a 4th suspect, Timothy St. John, was arrested, and he's facing similar charges. And authorities say more arrests are likely. I say, where the hell is the parents? Because the more that I dig into this, I can't find they were missing children, but we don't know. we'll get into that. I'd like to know, were they reported missing? How did this happen? How did the children come into their possession? How did this underground thing start for so long without someone even noticing? Of course the parents were paid. Of course they were. They need to be there right along with them. That's what I said. Why were these kids not reported missing? They were paid. These kids were trafficked. Why isn't this all over national headlines? This is horrible. Exactly, they're monsters. Because it should be. They don't know if there's more kids. From my research, they don't know if there's more kids out there somewhere. Who are these men? Who had contact to sell these kids and give them away? Contact your local officials. Demand stronger child protection laws, more surveillance on underground structures, and mandatory reporting and suspicious cases. Stop staying silent. Call Bibbs County Sheriff's Office and the FBI if you suspect someone is involved in this case right here, or if you know of other victims. Call them. The 6 known victims between the ages of 3 and 10 are now in the custody of Alabama Department of Human Services. DHR is what they call it there. They're receiving care and support through the state, the child welfare system, and are being assisted by the Central Alabama Regional Advocacy Center, which is working alongside investigators and prosecutors. Since the investigation has intensified and following the arrest, of the suspects, all 6 children have been moved from any unsafe place, any unsafe environment, and into the protective custody of DHR care. And I sure hope they're safe. What we know about these kids are limited because they are minors. But they say that DHR and the CAC and similar agencies are providing traumatic and informed services. This includes medical screenings, counseling, forensic interviews, and emotional and psychological support for both the children and their families. The identities of the children remain undisclosed. That's to protect their privacy. They are minors again, from 3 to 10, what we know. Oh my God. Under DHR care, the children are secure and overseen. Hopefully, they're in a good place. I pray. I have no evidence that they are fostered out, but we don't know. They're trying to, give them traumatic care. The healing process is advocacy right now, is coordinating its mental health professionals to support their emotional and psychological recovery, because this is going to take a lot, if not a lifetime. Legal considerations, DHR will manage their care and work closely with the prosecutors and what their best interest is. And the advocates will go to court and, be in court. They can't return home at least yet, until the state not only investigates and sees who and who was not involved. The ongoing legal investigation requires that the kids remain separated from the alleged perpetrators. They have to do a safe assessment before anybody's return home. And it's pending until each child environment can be confirmed safe and no risk remains. Who are these kids? And how did they get where they were in this horrific situation of missing and being in an underground bunk, used as sex slaves and sold over and over again for sex? How did their parents sell them? Y'all, these kids were chained. They were tied. They were tied to beds and chairs. The cops saw that when they went in. It's okay, honey. Please do. Please do if you need to step away. Why were these kids sold? They were not reported missing by these sorry ass parents. The ongoing legal investigation requires that the children remain separated from these alleged perpetrators. Safe assessment of any that return home is pending until each child involvement can be confirmed. And I think we know what that means. Not only are these kids in the now receiving very much needed protective care and specialized support, that specialized support is just the beginning. Why are these parents not in jail? Where are the arrests for these parents? Were these parents responsible? There's currently no public information available on the whereabouts or the status of the children's parents in connection with the Bibb County bunker case. Outlets have focused on the investigation, the suspects, and the victims' care, but have not released details about family members or guardians. Right now, what we know as a fact is the 6 children ages 3 to 10 have been placed in the custody of Alabama the DHS resources, and receiving support through Central Alabama Regional Child Advocacy Center. And privacy protections are in place. The identities of the victims and presumably their families' situations are being withheld to safeguard the safety and well-being of the children, hopefully. Hey, Susan. Good morning. Good morning. Media reports have not mentioned any involvement or lack thereof of the parents in these criminal charges, nor any details about their involvement in the custody, cooperation, or placement decisions. Now, we're going to watch a video. I hear you, where Summer. I'm just telling you what I've found and have not found. So let's go with this. Hold on.
And this is video from our ABC 3340 sky view over an underground bunker where the Bibb County Sheriff's Office says child abuse was taking place for months. This is in Brent along Aaron Drive. An ongoing investigation has led to 3 arrests after serious allegations involving children. Court records reveal only part of the story, and right now there are many questions. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson breaks down what we know and what authorities aren't saying.
The investigation began in early February. Since then, authorities have made multiple arrests and filed several felony charges, yet key details surrounding the case are still unclear.
Keep the kids in safety.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says it opened an investigation on February 4th following a report related to child abuse involving an underground bunker near Brent. That investigation led to arrests of these 3 individuals. All 3 have been indicted on various felony charges, including rape, sodomy, human trafficking, and kidnapping. Court filings allege the incidents occurred between January 2024 and early 2025 and involved at least 5 children, all under the age of 12. The court documents indicate that William McElroy allegedly acknowledged having inappropriate conduct with a child. Dalton Terrell reportedly admitted to unlawful sexual activity during an interview with investigators. And Andres Trejos Velázquez is accused of distributing explicit images and facilitating contact between victims and others.
They need to be put away and stop all that violence going on with these little bit of kids. You'll never know what they might do to little kids these days.
While the charges are detailed in legal documents, many aspects of the case remain unknown. Some of the questions we'd like to ask investigators include, was anyone else involved? And how were the children identified or contacted? We reached out to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office in an effort to get an answer to those questions, yet we were told that Sheriff Jody Wade was out of the county and unavailable for interview. We will continue to ask questions. In Bibb County, Gracie Johnson, ABC 3340 News.
All 3 individuals are behind bars at the Bibb County Jail. This is a developing story we will continue to stay on top of, and we'll bring you updates as we learn more.
Now we're going to go to the 4th arrest. Hold on.
4th arrest in Bibb County, where that sheriff's office is investigating what they are calling a child sex trafficking ring. 3 men were indicted on July 11th on charges of rape, sodomy, and human trafficking involving young children.
We do have a warning to our viewers. The content in this story is disturbing. CBS 42's senior reporter Amy Hybels joins us now live from Bibb County to explain. Amy.
Brian Jones, the assistant district attorney for Bibb County, tells me that 23-year-old Chilton County resident Timothy St. John has been charged with rape, sodomy, human trafficking, and kidnapping. He has also been charged with the additional crime of bestiality and 1 count of aggravated cruelty to animals. He is now in the Bibb County jail with the other 3 men who were arrested earlier. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office launched a criminal investigation in February following concerns about the sexual abuse of young children. On July 11th, William McElroy, Dalton Terrell, and Andre Trejo Velázquez were indicted on multiple charges of rape, sodomy, and human trafficking involving 6 children. The youngest victim, according to ADA Brian Jones, was only 3 years of age. He says the victims referred to the place where they were abused in as a bunker. Jones describes it as an old storm shelter located on this property in Brent. Jones says Mr. Trejo allegedly tied up and drugged 4 of the 6 children who were abused by all 4 men inside of that storm shelter.
The children were tied to the bed, to the chairs, to a pole, and these individuals would have sex with these children, but also Mr. Trejo was allowing people to pay money to come in and have sex with the children.
Jones says this is the worst case he's ever had to deal with.
The worst part of it and the sad part of it is the children. It will be really hard for them to ever overcome the trauma that they've had to go through in order to get to this point. There will be a lot of therapy that they'll have to go through.
Now, because all of the men involved in this case, alleged case, are ages 21 and over, and because of the ages of the young victims, he tells me that these men, if they are convicted, are facing life in prison without the chance of parole. Now, 3 of the 4 men are set to be arraigned in August and September. Reporting live in Bibb County, I'm Amy Hybels, CBS 42 News.
It's just horrific. We have another one we'll watch in a minute, but why there's limited information is because of the confidentiality rules, of course. But this is a horrific, case. I I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. Cases involving minors are often hid. They often hide parental identity and family circumstances to protect all parties involved, including the children, and ongoing investigations. And authorities and media focuses primarily on the suspects and victims' welfare. And details about the guardians may be deliberately withheld, and legal and welfare protocols, if the parents are unable to, or the parents are unable or deemed unfit to care for the children, Department of Human Services may place them with foster families or other protective arrangement details, which aren't disclosed publicly because they want to protect the children. And I pray that they are investigating these parents and the guardians, whichever. In my opinion, the parents may be getting counseling also. All parents may not be involved, but we don't have any knowledge, I don't have any knowledge, let's say that all parents are involved. But again, I do have to question where are the parents, period. We don't know. I don't know. In my research, I don't know. And I have to start at the beginning. Hey, Freebird, welcome in. And so that's what it's telling me. We don't know because there's no public record that I'm getting. Because the parents, whether they retain custody or not, are under investigation. They are separated from the children. We know that. Victim privacy laws and protective protocols mean these details about the family members are being withheld for safety and legal reasons. I just pray the system don't let these kids down. And the one sheriff we just heard said this is the worst case he's ever seen. No information suggests the children were ever officially reported missing. And that should say a lot in connection to this case. Here's what is understood. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office and local media have said the underground bunker was uncovered as a part of an ongoing investigation, not recovered because the kids were reported missing. The case came to light due to tips and abuse concerns, not missing persons reports. News outlets have described how the investigation began around February after abuse concerns were reported, not because children vanished. The children ages between 3 and 10 were reportedly drugged and taken directly to the bunker, suggesting they may not have raised immediate alarms. So, with no reports being found on these kids being reported missing, that really worries me. This wasn't a classic missing or after kidnapping case. These children weren't reported missing because the traffickers allegedly removed them immediately to the bunker, and the authorities only became aware through investigative leads, not through missing persons alerts. Look, y'all, I'll be real. The one guy was charged with bestiality and, well, animal cruelty. These are sick, sick people, you know. Again, I had to take a deep breath before coming live this morning. And I know this is triggering, but the world does not change through silence. A lot of people may not want to report on this stuff. I don't want to report on this stuff. I don't want this happening. This should never happen. These are children. These are babies. You know, these babies were hidden underground. Now we got to bring their stories above ground for the whole world to see. These are innocent children. Their felony charges are first degree RAPE, first degree sodomy, kidnapping, first degree, sexual torture, sexual abuse of a child under 12, human trafficking, first degree, possession, distribution of child pornography, bestiality involving animals and children, charged against St. John, cruelty to animals, using a bunker for conspiracy to commit felonies. You know, these people should never be free, not ever, in my opinion. Lady Q said fact number 1, not reported missing by parents. Absolutely. Under Alabama law, many of these charges like RAPE or sodomy of a child under age 6 carry mandatory life sentences without parole. If prosecutors pursue, and they should, in my opinion, if they pursue aggravating factors like multiple victims using restraints and extreme cruelty, they could seek the death penalty. Now, in my opinion, I pray they do, because that one cop, you heard him, they went in and they saw with their own eyes these children were restrained. They were restrained to chairs and bed, and they knew that. You know, there was no doubt about it. There's no reason they should not go for the death penalty, but I'm sure that they're going to get taken care of, period. I'm sure they are. They need to stop all these plea deals, in my opinion. They could also face other charges given the trafficking nature and internet exploitation. The DOJ and FBI charges are possible, including the interstate trafficking exploitation, RICO, organized networks, and all that stuff. Prosecutors and sheriff's office have vowed, so we'll see, they have vowed to pursue the maximum penalties without hesitation. We'll see. Put the DP on the table. You're not overcharging. Let's do it. Let's do it. Also, the suspects are being held without bond at the Bibb County Jail. According to WBRC, all 4 arrested individuals are currently detained without bond, as it should be. Let's keep them there. They're not going to change. Right, Lady Q? Keep them there. Let's hope so, Where Summer. Local outlets have reported the initial indictments came down on July 11th, and the fourth arrest for Timothy St. John occurred on July 22nd. But none mention any upcoming hearings. When defendants are indicted in Alabama on serious charges like RAP and human trafficking, the arraignment where formal pleas are entered typically occurs within days to a few weeks of the indictment, giving the early to mid-July indictments. Arraignments may have already happened or are being scheduled right now. A preliminary or bond review hearing usually follows, often within a couple of weeks post-arraignment. Trial dates for capital level crimes involving children, especially with potential life without parole or death penalty, are often set several months out, commonly in the late summer or fall. So it could be August, September, or longer before another court. I don't know, but you can visit Alabama Jurisdictional System website. That's all spelled out. No slashes, dashes, or anything. It's just Alabama Jurisdictional System website. And you can try to keep up with this and all the news stations that are local there. And I'll try my best to follow this as well. I want to say this loud and clear. These children were hidden in darkness. And I'm going to shine a light on this. This is bullshit. These stories matter. Their pain matters. And our silence would only help these monsters. I do not help monsters. You know, let's make this more than alive, people. Let's make it a call to action to make the noise, share their stories, write these lawmakers, and hug your kids a little bit tighter and your grandkids. If you see something disturbing, you need to say something. And on any live, you know, or on this live this morning, that's what it is. If you feel helpless, remember, awareness is a weapon. Let's watch this other video real quick. This is the last one I believe I put up. Hold on.
Details tonight in a shocking case out of Bibb County. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Guy Rawlins.
And I'm Brittany Decker. Officials say 6 children were victimized in a child sex ring. The horrific crimes allegedly took place in an underground bunker in Brent. That's in Bibb County, and that's where we find WVTM 13's Lisa Crane. She went there today to speak with the assistant district attorney in this case.
This is where authorities say 6 children, the youngest only 3 years old, were victimized repeatedly over more than a year. It's an underground storm shelter near the home of William Chase McElroy, one of the men charged with raping and sodomizing the children, as well as kidnapping and human trafficking.
Inside the storm shelter, there were chairs and beds and things of that nature. And the children were drugged by Mr. Trejos and tied to the bed and to the chair and to a pole.
See?
And then people would come and pay money to have sex with these children.
Assistant District Attorney Brian Jones says there could be more victims and more alleged perpetrators. He says the grand jury has indicted a 4th person, but he can't release that name because that person hasn't been arrested yet. But he says we may never know the full extent of the horrors that happened here.
There are some allegations with individuals that we will have a hard time identifying just because we don't know their names. And the children were drugged, according to one of the co-defendants, and so they may not they may not be able to recognize or be able to identify anyone.
Jones says many of these details came from some of the defendants themselves. This has been a tough case for investigators and prosecutors, one they've been looking into since the first of the year.
It absolutely infuriates me, but we have to kind of put that aside and just do the job. That's all we can do.
It could be some comfort to investigators and authorities to know that the crimes these defendants are charged with come with a minimum mandatory sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. In Bibb County, Lisa Crane, WVTM 13.
Absolutely gross. These people, so there's absolutely no reason why they can't do the DP. Again, a lot of times they don't do it because they think they're overcharging, but here they won't be, because they can even drop it to the lesser charge. I bless these kids. Absolutely. Bless these babies. Bring these parents in. Do the right thing. Bring these parents in as well. They weren't missing. They didn't report them missing. Do the right thing. Bibbs County. Do the right thing. If y'all can, do what you can. Do your part. Write them. Ask for the DP. Do whatever it is you believe's right. I can't tell you what to do. But these kids, they deserve justice. And there's probably more out there. I thank you for being here with me this morning. I'll probably see you later today. Can't say where, can't say when. But thank you for being here. And thank you, all my mods. I know this was very triggering, and I know this was very hard. Y'all have a great day, and thank you. And don't forget the others. Sebastian, Summer, all the others, Monkey. Everybody, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Hit the thumbs up. I love y'all, and I'll see you around. Bye.